welcome to another wonderful practical episode of Learning with Jerome, the podcast where we both learn about how to build a business, invest, and ultimately a magnificent life with incomplete information and incomplete understanding. Yes, I'm talking about entity system that thrive by capitalizing and using disorder cluster such as mistakes, errors, time, the unknown, uncertainty has fuel for improvement. I'm your host Jerome Gassa from optionalityprofit.com. I have another exciting, insightful, practical episode to share with you. After all, a little bit of agitation gives motivation to the soul, and what really makes the species prosper is not peace so much as freedom. And from the same line, my mentor, the magnificent and best risk analyst alive today, Nassim Nicholas Taleb, put it best this way: this is one life's packages. There is no freedom without noise and no stability without volatility. Welcome to you guys. Hello guys, Jerome here. Good morning or good afternoon or good evening to all of you all over the world following this mega podcast that we have launched over the last 4 months. It has had a huge impact in the life of a lot of people who are becoming well aware that we are living in a world of extremism, meaning the world of uncertainty and, if you want, randomness. It is an honor to thank you, all of you all over the world, for all your support. In the meantime, it is an occasion for me to wish to all of you a life of health, wealth, and happiness, a life in which you give to yourself the gift of patience, the virtue of wisdom, the power of faith in your own ability to dream and achieve worthy rewards. And above all, I hope the new year 2017 delivers to you something positive you deserve but did not dare to wish for. Hence, capitalizing on uncertainty. Now, let us start with the subject of the day. Well-kept secret. For self-owned people who, like the rest, the ability to make money, hence make decisions, and remain happy does not really decline with age. Let me clarify the main idea behind what scientists called hedonic treadmill. Let us dive in. Making $1 million in 1 year, but nothing in the preceding 9 does not bring the same pleasure as having the total evenly distributed over the same period. That is $100,000 every year for 10 years in a row. The same applies to the inverse order, meaning making a bundle the first year and then nothing for the remaining period. Your happiness depends far more on the number of instances of positive feelings, what psychologists call positive affect, than on their intensity when they hit. In another word, what counts is not the intensity but the frequency of the occurrence. Right? Now, Mother Nature destined us to derive enjoyment from a steady flow of pleasant, small but frequent rewards. As I said, the rewards do not have to be large, just frequent. A little bit there, a little bit here, right? Now, sadly, it may be even worse for you to make $10 million then lose back 9 than to making nothing at all. True, you may end up with $1 million as compared to nothing, but it may be better had you got 0. In another word, as French say, zero. Germans say null, nothing. These assume, of course, that you care about financial rewards, right? Okay. In the meantime, consider that our major satisfaction for thousands of years came in the form of food and water and something else more private. You know already what I mean by that. And that while we need these steadily, we quickly reach saturation. I hope you get the idea of what I'm trying to explain here. Let me give you another insightful example. How well can we predict our emotions, our feelings? Will winning the lotto make us the happiest people alive for many years to come? Dan Gilbert, the world-renowned psychologist of Harvard University, who studied lottery winners, surprisingly discovered that the happiness effect melted down over time, few months after the lottery winner has collected the jackpot. So, as direct conclusion, after having won the jackpot of the lotto, we fall back to our previous contentment or discontentment. So, many are far no better, right? Well, people who progress in their careers are in terms of happiness right back where they started 3 months ago. From the same line, people who buy the latest Bugatti Veyron or the most luxurious mansion around the block, that's the same thing, right? Now, science calls this hedonic treadmill. Indeed, we work hard, advance, and are able to afford more, better and nicer things, and this doesn't make us any happier, right? Now, where really lies the problem about a long-lasting happiness is that we do not live in an environment where results are delivered in a steady manner, right? Rare events, outliers, the unexpected dominate much of human history. That's the reason why I talk about the black swan, and I will recommend you hugely to go back and check it, and please take a lot of notes in that episode. We will give you also another part of ground material to be able to tackle randomness and uncertainty. Let me repeat again, we live in a world that has become very, 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 and I underline very diverse, diffuse and divergent. Hence, the world has become more unpredictable. The world has become more uncertain. Most experts won't tell you that. They'll try to squeeze everything into the world of mediocrity, meaning in the world where it is the average that counts the most, and most of the time they'll always select what I call the survivorship bias. In another word, the salient, those who have survived, and they'll ditch what I call silent evidence. And the silent evidence here is nothing more than the people who have the same traits just as the winners, but did not make it. But nobody is going to let you notice that, right? It is up to you to make the digging. But since you are already here, we are here basically to bring that to your awareness and to guide you about how to capitalize on randomness. Just because we cannot predict doesn't imply we cannot predict, we cannot benefit from randomness, right? That's the reason why we are here, to make that happen. Most people out there are paid by perception. We are here, we are paid by reality. We are not here to distort the perception of other people. We are paid by reality, and that's what counts. Okay, now let us keep going. Unfortunate that the right strategy for our current environment may not offer internal rewards and positive feedback. The same property in inverse apply to our own happiness. It is better to lump all your pain into a brief period rather than have it spread over a longer one, unless it will look like a Chinese torture, right? Okay, well, wouldn't it be nice if we knew how happy a new career or relationship or will make us feel, or will make us in general feel as emotion? Well, use this heuristic to make better and brighter decisions. And by the way, these are the things used by the best out there. What I mean by the best out there, that means people like Warren Buffett, George Soros, Ray Dalio, all these big investors. I call them the veteran. They have been there for a long time and they enjoy life. You can take even Bill Gates, right? Okay. Here is how to approach it. These are basically rule of thumbs, or if you want heuristic or tricks, or how to maintain a robust well-being. Hence, your happiness derive from that. First and foremost, avoid at all costs anything that generates chronic stress, such as being around dull and stressful people. Well, remember that stress is something that is contagious. You can even see it when you are at the airport. You can read it right away. That's the reason why even when I'm taking flights, I always decalate my time, or I set up my time to fly at a time where there is no rush at the airport. Why? Because stress is something that is contagious, and when you are around a stressful person, you pick it without even realizing it. And remember one thing, our mood is not created by our consciousness. Our mood is created by a shallow impulse of an environment that we don't necessarily notice. Right? This is the reason why I said in the title at the beginning, self-owned people. You are the person who has the last decision and who set up the environment that match with you. And by the way, your productivity decreases enormously when you are under stress. Avoid stressful people, or commuting, or noise, etc. for your well-being. That's one. Number two, I declare this: is happy whom nothing make less strong than he is. He keeps to the high, leaning upon none but himself. For one who sustains himself by any prop may fall. In the meantime, I'm not saying you should not trust people. No. Trust them. But check. You have the last control. You have the last say. Yes, you have the last decision. Since it is the unexpected that put the heaviest load upon us. Hence, randomness doesn't look random. But how it affects some people is not. And I'm giving you the keys. Guys, this is the way to become a self-owned person. Now, third, develop a mind that is steadfast and resolutely clings to a good judgment. How? I'm glad you asked. By gaining a complete view of truth. Yes, guys. By maintaining in all that you do order, measure, fitness, and a will that is inoffensive and kindly. I really do mean all what I'm saying. I'm saying what I do. Right? And it works. Follow your passion, even if you have to invest a portion of your income in it. Invest in friendship. And for most people, most professional, let's say professional status, achieve long-lasting happiness. And in the meantime, mingle by reserving 3 to 4 days in a row in a month, during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, is this the condition that I fear? Keep in mind, you are not doing something that is new. There are millions of people out there who have very low means but who are living very well. The point I'm trying to make you understand and see here quite carefully is that just as in days of peace, the army or soldiers perform maneuver, throws up earthworks with no enemy inside, and wearies himself with gratuitous toil in order that he may be equal to unavoidable toil. My point here, what I'm trying to say here is that you are prepared to anything. And keep in mind, it is in time of peace, when things are going well, that you should be training yourself, not when you are already in it. This is the path to become a self-owned person. I thank you guys. Thank you guys for being part of this mega podcast. And soon, by the end of January, the first program will be released, and you will have time to enjoy a lot of heuristic rule of thumbs, tricks that you cannot find in any standard books out there, but that must be taught with discretion. And this is the reason why you are here in Optionality Profit. And by the way, optionality means you are not in a straitjacket. No, optionality means you have the option. You can accept, you have the right to accept, such that in the meantime you can also refuse. In another, you are advancing one step at a time, depending to your attack. Hence, it just even goes back to the second wishes I gave you about Happy New Year's 2017. It is an honor to serve you guys, and I wish you a wonderful day, and one more time, Happy New Year's 2017. Thank you guys.